Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, a different type of video that I don't normally do. It's a special video to commemorate a special occasion. So we're gonna take a couple minutes to kind of like talk about things, talk about the history of the channel a little bit, things that happened between the channel's inception, and the many things that you don't normally see on this channel. At least not anymore. So sit tight. Hopefully you got something to eat, drink, whatever, because we're gonna be here for a couple of minutes. So we've recently hit a pretty big milestone for the channel, and that is hitting 500 subscribers, which is nice. It took a long time just to get to this point, which that's due to a variety of different reasons. But we got there. 500 subscribers, honestly, to some people might not seem like a big deal, but for me, it kind of is. And I've always wanted to do like these big milestone videos, to kind of like talk about what things occur between then and now, and all that kind of fun stuff. So I will be picking some, like, couple clips from a few playthroughs that I've done throughout the years. Probably starting from the very first one and going up through the years up until now. So that's what you'll be seeing in the background as I go on ranting for who knows how long. So, like I said, we recently hit 500 subscribers. Big celebrations. Thrilled. Thank you all for coming to helping making it happen. Even though if you just watch it for a couple minutes, it's still fine. It's all appreciated regardless. Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a long while. If you go on my channel, you'll see that this channel was created in 2012. I don't quite remember what month, but it was definitely created in 2012. I think like mid 2012 was when this channel was made. Fun fact, this was not the first YouTube channel. This is actually the second YouTube channel. The first one is no longer alive because YouTube deleted it, and there's a reason for that, and that is because of copyright strikes. Now, I first got into YouTube probably in around the years 2027 or 2027. Wow, time traveled. 2007, 2008. That's when I probably started getting into YouTube. That's when I made my first account, somewhere around that range. Because back then, YouTube was dominated by FMVs, which incorporates scenes and clips from someone's specific chosen anime or game, and give it an and have accompanying music to it. You know how FMVs are. Why am I explaining this? But yeah, back then YouTube used to be dominated by FMVs. I mean, they kind of still are in a sense, but the copyright system has changed so much with YouTube over the years. It's kind of not viable to do a whole lot of FMVs. Because when you do FMVs, you run the risk of getting copyright strikes, and you all know how it works with YouTube. 3 copyright strikes essentially removes you from YouTube. So unfortunately, that's kind of what happened with me. I started doing FMVs because I wanted to get into that trend. Now, obviously, this is back when I was still in high school, middle school, so I didn't have a job, I didn't have money. So I didn't have access to the big what's it called? The state-of-the-art equipment at the time. I mean, my computer at the time was pretty shit. I'll be frank with you. It was pretty awful. My first computer I got from my grandpa, and that was a hand-me-down, and it was one of those old dinosaur computers from like the 1950s that weighed 1,000 pounds and had nothing to show for it. The storage space probably didn't even go beyond 100 gigabytes, and the RAM. I don't think I even had a gigabyte of RAM in that computer, to be honest with you. It's cool. It's quite slow. I think maybe about a couple months, if not a year or so later, was when I got upgraded to a slightly better version, better computer. My neighbor gave me their computer because they were getting rid of it, and while it was better than what I was using, it was still pretty shit. The RAM was slightly better, and I think the storage space was a big improvement, which honestly didn't help a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. So because I was kind of limited into both software and hardware wise, and obviously money wise, I couldn't get like the big state-of-the-art editing software and programs like Sony Vega, Creative Cloud like I do now with the Illustrator, Adobe Premiere, any of those big editing programs. Obviously I didn't have back then. The one program I did have, and this program came with every single copy of Windows, and I'm sure all you oldies will know what this program is. That program would be called Windows Movie Maker. That's how I made videos back then, and if you've used or seen Windows Movie Maker back in the days of Windows, not XP, but Windows 7, Windows. I don't use Windows 8. Windows 7, Windows 10. You'd know what Windows Movie Maker is. It's pretty bare. It was pretty bare bones. But it worked. It served its purpose. It worked, just very bad. So since I didn't have recording software to get like the high quality clips from anime or games, I couldn't really do things the proper way when it comes to making videos. But I found an alternative way to go about doing this, and that is with a website called GIF Soup. That's right. All my FMVs at the time were all GIFs made into videos, and it worked. It actually worked. The quality was pretty shit, but it worked regardless. Back then, I don't think I really cared for the quality. I think the highest quality video I had was like 480 at the time. So, all I cared about was just making videos and putting them out there. I didn't care for quality or anything like that. I was too young and stupid to care about any of that stuff. So I did that for a couple years. Up until like 2020, I think near the end of 2011 or somewhere in the beginning of 2012. That's when it all caught up to me. That's when I got my third copyright strike, which effectively removed my first channel, from YouTube. So, I mean, I was kind of expecting that would happen at some point. So I wasn't caught off guard. So yeah, my first YouTube channel is no longer a thing. It's gone. It's dust in the wind. Dust in the winds. So what you're seeing right now are clips of two of the first let me say this. And then somewhere in 2012, I made this channel, the second channel, named Dark Soresteed Night. My first channel was Dark Knight Soresteed. And so, the second one, I kind of flipped the names around, kind of stupid. I know back then my naming sense wasn't that great. But that was my second channel's initial name at first, and it was that name for a good while before I changed it to XX Ghost Stalker, which is what it's at now. And then once I made this channel, I brought back a couple of those FMVs I had from the first channel, and I put them on here because I guess I was a glutton for punishment. So those videos stayed, and when I made this channel, I kind of started to not want to do FMVs. So my channel pretty much stagnated. I still did FMVs every now and then. I think 2014 was like the last year I did an FMV. So beyond that point, after that point, my channel just like sat in not isolation. It sat in disregard for until like 2016. 2016 came around. That's when I decided to do a restructure of my YouTube channel. But before I get into that restructure, you'll probably be seeing like 10. You'll be seeing a few clips of those 2 FMVs. I saved 2 FMVs and 1 OST type video from back then. These videos have permanently unlisted, and they'll never be relisted. So this is the only chance you'll be seeing them, obviously without the audio, because I'd rather not be copyright claims in this day and age. So these are what basically what these are the kind of like FM these lost my following my words right here. This is pretty much what you could expect from my old FMVs. They're not the great, but they serve their purpose. So yeah, I kept those because I was kind of proud with those. And then 2016 came around when I decided to do a restructure for my YouTube. That was when I think that was when I think the PS4 came out like what, 2014, and I got news that the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 are being brought to the PS4. Now I played these on the PS3, and I was excited when they were announced that they were bringing them to the 4, and I wanted to do a playthrough of those because throughout between 2011 and 2018, I was really into like Let's Plays and watching a lot of people do Let's Plays. So I kind of wanted to do some of that. Now that I had a PS4, I had onboard streaming software. It was shit, but it was streaming software. So I wanted to try doing some of that, and I did that. I streamed. I eventually streamed the Kingdom Hearts stuff. One of the first playthroughs I did was like Dragon Quest Builders while I waited for that game to come out. That was fun. Obviously the onboard streaming software for the PS4 and even the PS5 is not the greatest. I didn't actually get a proper capture card until a couple years later. I'm not quite sure when I got my first capture card, honestly. I can't remember when I got it. I think it was like 2018 is when I first got the capture card. So about 2 years between restructuring my YouTube when I got the capture card. Because a motivation for me to get in the capture card, there's 2 motivations for me getting a capture card. One is to get around those stupid blue screens that show up during like important sequences of events and games that can't be streamed or recorded or screenshotted. If you know what those are, you know what those are. Those irritated the hell out of me while streaming with the onboard software. Most notably with Final Fantasy VII's death scene with Aerith in the Forgotten City. So that was annoying. That was a motivation, and another motivation was it was like an entire game, Tales of Berseria. When that game came out, I was super excited to play that. I really wanted to do a playthrough of it, but when I got the game, I found out that practically 99.9% of the game you could not stream because reasons. I don't know why, but you could not stream that game. The only parts that were streamable with that game were these like battle arena type things. Now, is that still a thing? I don't know. But that was also another motivation for me wanting to get a capture card. And honestly, the capture card was probably one of the best things I could have ever bought. You know, a huge quality improvement with the capture card. I started to use that, and I eventually integrated that with OBS, and things took off from there. So things have gotten better. Things have definitely gotten better. And then it wasn't until like I think it wasn't until 2019 is when another big change happened to the channel. Up until that point, all my videos had no commentary to them. Excuse me. And that's because at the time, I was living in an apartment with my mom and my brother. I didn't really have a good setup to do commentary. You know, I shared a room with my brother. I didn't have a desk myself. I didn't have my own space. So there was no way for me to do a videos with commentary. There was just no way. But in 2020, I think it was in 2020. No. It was 2019. It was somewhere around, like middle of 2019 is when we moved into our grandparents' house. After we moved them into assisted living, we took over their place, and I had my own room. Finally, had my own space. Got myself a microphone, and I started to do commentary. Obviously, starting out with commentary was a little, was a little awkward, honestly. Cause going from doing videos with no commentary to doing videos with commentary, I was not used to talking to myself, essentially. So, that took some adjusting to get used to. Forcing myself to read dialogue in like games like Pokemon, any game that doesn't have voice dialogue, kind of drove the need to improve my commentary. And honestly, looking back at the old videos, especially the Cold Steel 3 playthrough, that's when I started doing commentary on the Legend of Heroes Cold Steel 3. Looking back at those videos in particular, I feel like my commentary has definitely improved. It's definitely improved. At least I would hope so. It's been a couple years since then, so I would hope I had improved. If I hadn't, then that might cause some serious problems. But I've definitely got more comfortable, if anything, and all that kind of fun jazz. Let's see here. Channels had a couple of restructures and reshapes. I think it wasn't until 2017 when I did my Legend of Dragoon playthrough that I finally got some video structure done to my channel. Before, I would always do stream from Twitch and just straight export that stream to YouTube. No editing, nothing. I just straight export it. And these videos would probably go for 3 to 6 hours, and for a while it was fine. I didn't really care because it was just an archive to hold all my streams. But seeing that I was making more progress on YouTube than I was on Twitch, kind of motivated me to put more care into my YouTube. So when I did my Legend of Dragoon playthrough, I decided to change things up. I started to break up all my streams into like 30 to 40 minute videos and turn it into a Let's Play channel. And honestly, it's worked, in my opinion. I've kept that structure ever since. Obviously, the length of the videos have gotten longer as time went on. It got to the point where the length of the videos was getting a little out of control. I started to get out of control when I started doing the Utawari Rimono games, Mask of Truth and Mask of Deception, and that carried on into Cold Steel and beyond. So it started to get a little out of hand, but I believe I've gotten a grasp of where I want videos to be. I want videos now to be roughly an hour, at most an hour and a half. If it goes beyond that, I try to break it up. But hour and a half is like my highest limit that I will go. And when it comes to breaking up those videos, it's hard. Some games, it's kind of hard to find a stopping point. You know, if there's a game that I know what a good stopping point is, I'll know when to stop. But some games, it's kind of hard to find a good stopping point because you get so into the story about what's going on, whether it's story drama or something really exciting is going on. You just don't want to stop. You want to keep going. So some games it's kind of hard to find a good stopping point and actually make yourself stop because you just want to keep playing. So that was a struggle, and I didn't. A couple years later, I finally started to do some semblance of editing. That was when I was doing the White Knight Chronicles games. With the vast distances that you had to travel in those games, I had to incorporate some editing. It's not top tier 5-star high quality editing that some people might do. It's basically just removing stuff that didn't need to be there, that added fluff to the timer. So very minor editing, but it's still editing regardless. So that's when I started editing my videos. That was probably around the time I stopped exporting to Twitch, or exporting from Twitch. So there's also that. So I started using Adobe Premiere, and my video quality got higher because of it, because it was an actual encoder. I can actually put things at 1080p, 60 frames. So there was that big improvements. So a couple reshapes, couple restructures, and I'm sure those won't be the last ones this channel will see. Going forward though, there are a couple things I want to do to make the experience better. Now, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but there are a couple things I want to try. First thing I want to try is the intro to videos. Recently, in the last couple months, I've been using like a static image for 10 seconds with a soundtrack for a particular game to introduce, obviously, that game that I'm playing. I kind of want to. It's been fine, but someone pointed out to me not too long ago that I should just immediately go into talking to immediately engage people, and I saw where this person was coming from, and I kind of agreed with them. So at some point, what I want to try to do is do like a what to expect in this video type of thing, like a preview, like a 10-second preview of clips from what will take place in the video later on, in the intro for like 10 seconds or something like that. So that's something I definitely want to try to do. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I haven't quite wrapped my head around it yet, but that's something I definitely want to try doing. Another thing I want to try to do is the addition of face cam. Now, I believe the addition with face cam would greatly improve, hopefully, at least I would hope so, it would greatly improve the viewership, since I'm sure a lot of people want to see someone with a face cam more often than not a face cam. So that's something I definitely want to try. I have a decent webcam, and I have a green screen, so I got that too. The issue with the green screen is I'd have to rearrange my room a little bit to make room for it. So I'm prepared to use a face cam. I just don't know when I'm gonna do that, but hopefully I will at some point. It's definitely something I'm considering. Oh man, I've done a lot of playthroughs over the years. The old playthroughs that I did like 3 or 4 hours long, I eventually went back and redid. Obviously, if you've seen my channel, some playlists are labeled as old playthrough and new playthrough. Those are fun, going back and giving them a new take on them with the new structure. I played a lot of games over the years. I made a lot of videos. I'm looking back at my video count, and I've made a lot of videos, considering I'm not that big of a channel. So it makes me wonder if I'm uploading too much. But I asked some people, and apparently my upload is just fine for a Let's Play channel. So I'll trust their judgments. But I still think I'm uploading too much. I've always thought about going down to uploading maybe once or twice a week, rather than 3 times whenever I can per day. So I've been thinking about that as well. So that might be a change I might consider at some point in the future. Whether that change will come into play, I don't know, but it's something I've definitely considered. I think that's all I really wanted to say, honestly. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Talk about the history of the channel, what started it, what brought it up, and where we're at now. My commentary is not the greatest. I know I'm not the best entertainer in the world. I'm not funny. I can't crack a joke like some YouTubers can and expect it to be funny. I don't have that kind of personality. And it sucks, but well, I'm not trying to mimic other people. I'm just trying to be me, I don't want to be someone I'm not, So, I'm not the best. I'm not the greatest, but I'm definitely trying to improve. And any kind of feedback that I can get is appreciated. Now, I know my comment section isn't that engaging. I wish it was more engaging. I mean, I would love to talk to people. It's kind of hard to improve when I don't know what I need to improve on. Sometimes I get feedback from people saying, hey, this isn't right, you should do this instead of this, blah blah blah. You should tweak this to better fit this, yada yada yada. Sometimes I get feedback from people, but a lot of times I don't. So any feedback that I can be given is much appreciated. So if there's anything you want to see improved on, whether it's commentary or just overall presentation of the videos, or even future suggestions that I could take into account, definitely like leave a comment in any of my videos, and I'll try to reply to them. I try to reply to comments as I see them. I mean, sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me that I get comments on it from people, so sometimes it takes a while for me to reply, and if that happens, I'm sorry. YouTube just doesn't notify me sometimes, or it gets lost in a mess of notifications on my phone. But I definitely try to keep an eye out for any YouTube comment notifications and reply as soon as I can. So I definitely want to talk to people. That's something I really want to do. I really want to talk to people. So, give me your comments, give me suggestions, inputs, whatever you need to do. Tell me I suck, tell me this is great. Say something. Say something I know that, so I know that people are actually watching. So, yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say. So, hopefully in the future I can see these improvements put these improvements into effects, and we'll see how much more my channel can grow. We've hit 500 after so long, so maybe we can hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm not quite sure how long that'll take, but maybe we'll get there in a relatively reasonable time frame. Maybe. It all depends on you, honestly, and me. I gotta improve so I can get more people to come, stay, and watch and subscribe. So, it's definitely something I need to improve on as well as a content creator. So, that's about it. Yeah. Thanks for coming to watch all my videos. Yes, like I said, there's probably far better people out there that you can watch that do a better job. But so I appreciate that you come to stop by, even if it's for a couple minutes to watch my videos. It's appreciated. Regardless, it helps. Any comments that you might leave, it helps. So yeah, I think that's all that's left to say. So thanks for coming to watch me listen to me ramble. Hope you liked watching some of these old footage of me playing some of my older playthroughs. Maybe you've seen some of these, maybe you watched me go through some of these playthroughs, maybe you haven't. Maybe it'll give you some inspiration or motivation to go back and watch those playthroughs that you haven't seen before. Maybe? Who knows? But yeah. That's it. That's it. I've said this a million times. Again, thank you for all the views and supports. And I hope to see that you guys stick with me and watch me grow. Hopefully I'll get there to meet better standards. And yeah, we'll go from there. So, thanks for coming. And I will see you in the next playthrough.